Well, good evening, everyone, again. My name is Kelly Augustine. I'm with the Nacogdoches County Chamber of Commerce. We're glad to see this room full tonight. Thank you for being here. It is with great pleasure that I get to introduce your MC for the evening. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Paul Smith III, former chairman of the Nacogdoches County Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you, Kelly. I certainly appreciate the opportunity to be the MC tonight. You know, rumor has it that Betty Shin and Kelly Augustine put their heads together about mid-August and tried to decide who should they choose to be the MC of this banquet. But pretty soon they came to that miracle understanding that I had those two indispensable qualities that made me just the right man for the job. I was cheap and willing. So remember, you get what you pay for. At this time, I'd like for everyone to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You can be seated. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to ask past Chamber Chairman G.W. Neal to come forward for our invocation.
Thank you, Paul, and good evening. I'm Gary Lee Ashcraft. No. Gary, wave your hand. Yeah. No, tonight I'm G.W. Neal. Will you join me in prayer, please? Gracious Heavenly Father, we praise you and thank you for your blessings. We thank you for your amazing grace, dear Lord. Father, we thank you for your guidance with this chamber. We ask, Father, that you continue to guide us in making choices that will contribute to the growth of our community. Father, thank you for this organization and the work that's being done in this community. Father, we also ask you to continue to bless the ones that prepared food this evening. May you bless this food, Lord, that it may strengthen our bodies, that we may be able to do your will. For us these blessings in Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen. Amen. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, G.W. Now, I'd like for everyone to continue enjoying your meal. And at the same time, we've got a short video for you.
Congratulations, Wayne. Speaking for the family, we're all very proud of you. It's obvious that the communities that you have supported over the years feel the same way about you as the family does. We all love you and know how hard you've worked. Wish we could be there. Oh, wait. Turn around.
In case you might be wondering about this commotion over here in this corner, ladies and gentlemen, just so you understand, Wayne Mitchell, our Lifetime Achievement Award recipient, has just been surprised by his brother, his sister, and sister-in-law who have traveled in from Alaska, Maine, and Florida. They're here to share with Wayne and Bonnie for this special occasion. It's incredible what Betty does every year. Betty, how many years is it? 23 years you've done this? 21 years. Let's give Betty a hand. But if there's one word that could describe what's going on into this evening, it would be the word planning. Now, this doesn't happen without a lot of planning. And speaking of that word planning, I'm reminded of the little elementary school teacher who decided that the next day she was going to go into class and ask each one of the students to stand up and introduce themselves and say what they wanted to be when they grew up and what their plans were. And so the next day she walked into class and she called on the little girl on the first row. Little girl on the first row stood up and said, "My name is Sadie, and I want to grow up to be a pretty lady and have a baby if I can, and that's my plan." Teacher said, "Well, Sadie, that is so sweet. Thank you so much." Called on the little boy in the third row. He stood up and said, "My name is Dan, and I want to grow up to be a man and drive around in a big red Chevy van if I can, and that's my plan." About that time, the teacher's thinking to herself, "This is going better than I could have ever imagined." Little boy on the way in the back row is waving his hand. She calls on the little boy in the back row. He stands up and says, "My name is Sam, and I don't give a damn about Dan or his van, but when I grow up to be a man, I want to help Sadie with her plan." Planning is the secret, isn't it? Really, really is. We have some very special people that we want to recognize this evening. So I would like for all of you to please hold your applause while I mention all of our sponsors. Our presenting sponsor, the Fredonia Hotel and Convention Center. Our silver sponsors, Harry's Building Materials, Inc., Pilgrims Nacogdoches, Eubank. And our bronze sponsors include Ashley and Rohde, Batters Law Firm, Cadence Bank, Citizens First Bank, Eaton Cooper Power Systems, E-Tech, Laird Funeral Home, the Nacogdoches Economic Development Corporation, Nibco Inc., Nacogdoches Medical Center, Encore Electric Delivery, and Southside Bank. And we'd like to give a special thanks to those businesses that are sponsoring tonight's awards, and you'll meet them here in just a little bit. Commercial Bank of Texas, Regions Bank, R&K Distributors, Tipton Ford, Charles Poole Real Estate, ServPro of Lufkin, South Nacogdoches County, and Service Master Piney Woods. Let's give them a round of applause. Tonight we're honored by the attendance of a number of elected officials. And as I announce your name, please stand and remain standing, and once again, would you please hold your applause. U.S. Senator John Cornyn's Regional Director, Sarah Butler. Sarah? Thank you. U.S. Congressman Pete Sessions' District Director, Vicki Mercer. U.S. Congressman Pete Sessions' Deep East Texas Outreach Coordinator, Belinda Carty. Yep, stay on your feet. State Representative Travis Clardy and his District Director, Jerry Jones. State Representative Trent Ashby. County Judge Greg Sowell. County Commissioner, Precinct 3, Robin Dolly. County Commissioner, Precinct 1, elect Keith Fincham. County Attorney John Fleming, we don't have a check mark by his name, but he told me he was coming, so I'm going to announce him anyway. And the 420th Judicial District Judge-elect, Malcolm Bales. The Nacogdoches County Republican Chairman, Bradley Reynolds. Nacogdoches Council Member, Northeast Ward, Kathleen Bellinger. Council Member, Southeast Ward, Blaine Williams. And Council Member Southwest Ward Chad Huckabee, are you here? Okay. City Manager Rick Beverlin. SFA President Dr. Neil Weaver. Nacogdoches ISD Board of Trustees Farshid Naramond and T.C. Groman, MD. And NISD Superintendent Gabe Trujillo. And you know, we're always pleased to have our guests from just south of the Angelina. We're pleased to welcome special guests from the Lufkin-Angelina County Chamber of Commerce, Tara Watkins, President and CEO, and representatives from the Lufkin-Angelina County Chamber. Tara? She's in the back there. Thank you. And my special guest for this evening, Debbie Crenshaw. Let's give everybody a round of applause. Thank you. Okay, we have a special group of people here we would like to recognize. The Chamber would like to recognize the past presidents and chairs of the Chamber of Commerce. Past presidents and chairs, would you please stand up? If you're a past president or chairman of the Nacogdoches County Chamber of Commerce, please stand up. Thank you. One of our premier programs at the Chamber is Leadership Nacogdoches, and our 23rd class is just now getting underway. If you're a member of the current Leadership Nacogdoches class, please stand and remain standing. You'll see a list of their names on your table. Many of them are in the back there. We're underway. We've had a great retreat and our first session in September, Nacogdoches Then and Now. We've got a tremendous group of 32 young professionals that are moving fast, believe me. Now, if you're a Leadership Nacogdoches alumni, would you please stand? Okay, thank you. You can be seated. Thank you. Now we would like to ask past Nacogdoches Chamber Citizens of the Year. If you've been a Citizen of the Year, please stand. Wow, wow. Several members of the Chamber Board of Directors have completed their term of service. Would the following retiring board members please join me on the stage where Chamber Chairman Ryan Head, Dr. Ryan Head, will present you with a token of our appreciation for your service. The retiring directors are Director Shannon Conklin, Vice Chair Rick Craig, Director Pam Fitch, Director Emily Hobson, Vice Chair Ray Mitchum, and Director Terrence Reeves. We certainly appreciate that in recent years, this group of people have chosen to serve and not be served. Thank you for your service to the Chamber. Let's give them a hand. Now I'd like to ask a fellow past Chamber Chairperson, Donna Finley, to come up, and she will lead the installation of directors and officers for the 2024-2025 year. Donna?
Thank you, Paul.
Yeah.
Will the 2024-2025 Board of Directors please stand in place as I call your name? Tara Aragon, Pilgrims of Nacogdoches. Corey Ashley, Cadence Bank. Heath Batters, Batters Law Firm. Leanne Carver, NMC Health Network. Amelia Commander, East Texas Community Health Services. Robert Crapman, Eaton Cooper Power Systems. Case Opperman, City of Nacogdoches. Daniel Reed, Buchanan Wealth Management. Damon Ruckel, Ruckel Insurance and Financial Group. Nolan Smith, Encore Electric Delivery. Dr. Gabriel Trujillo, Nacogdoches ISD. Aaron Wyndham, Nacogdoches ISD. Directors, you have been elected to represent the membership of the Nacogdoches County Chamber of Commerce and to become a part of the governing board to help your officers plan for the future. The membership has shown faith and trust in you as a leader. If you accept your responsibility, please raise your right hand and answer "I do" to this question. Do you promise to faithfully perform the duties as a board member to the best of your ability? Congratulations and best wishes as you serve. Please remain standing. Will the 2024-2025 Executive Committee please join me on stage? Chair, Dr. Ryan Head. Incoming Chair, Olivia Carizzi. Treasurer, Caroline Garner. Vice Chair, Public Policy, Tyrone Curl. Vice Chair, Community Development, Dr. Jason Reese. Vice Chair, Membership Services, Katie Blevins. Vice Chair, Resource Development, Darla O'Neill. Executive Committee, you have been duly elected as officers for the incoming year for the Nacogdoches County Chamber of Commerce. You have been chosen to represent the membership and to lead them. They have faith in you. That faith goes deeper than standing here before us and taking this oath. It represents faith in the future. I hope you realize the seriousness of the obligation you are now assuming. If you accept the office to which you have been elected, will you please raise your right hand and keep it raised until you have answered these questions? Officers, do you also accept the responsibilities and duties you now assume?
I do.
Do you further promise that you will faithfully discharge the duties of your office to the best of your ability and understanding?
I do.
Congratulations and best wishes as you lead this chamber. Executive Committee members may return to their seats. Dr. Head, please take this opportunity to address the chamber membership.
All right. Thank you all. I am Dr. Head, and I am thrilled to greet you as the chairman of your Nacogdoches County Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors. Some of y'all might recognize me from last year when I started this position, and I will leave it up to your imagination why I'm doing this for a second year. You could say it's because I did a phenomenal job and they want me back, or I need a mulligan and do it again for one more year. But in all seriousness, the board did decide to make the chair a 2-year term last year, at the beginning of last year. So silver lining, you could have ended up with 2 years of Dustin Beaver. So there is that. But I do want to say congratulations to all the award recipients on the well-earned and well-deserved recognition. I'd like to also take this time to thank the outgoing board members for your service and your expertise that you've lent to this board over the last few years. I appreciate what you've done for this community. To our newly inducted board members, Corey, Robert, Daniel, Damon, and Aaron, Welcome to the board, and I look forward to working with each and every one of you as we work to improve our community. I will warn you, now that you've already been sworn in and you can't back out, that during the board meetings, I will try and lead every board meeting, as I did last year, through the lens of this question. How does this item or decision help implement our mission, our vision, our strategies, and our goals moving forward? So have that question top of mind as we work for this next year. Again, welcome, and I'm excited to get to work with you. And speaking of work, I would like to turn to recognize the amazing staff that we have. Kelly, in her first year as CEO and president, has done a phenomenal job. Sherry, Sharon, Militia, and Missy, all of y'all do phenomenal work for the Chamber, for our memberships, and for this community. And the seamless transition from Wayne to Kelly last year went as well as anyone could ever hope or have asked for. And that is a testament to each and every one of you ladies at the Chamber. Thank you. So where do we go from here? We have a great staff, a great board, and a great vision before us. And that vision is to make Nacogdoches, our vision is to make Nacogdoches the ideal place to live, play, and do business. I stood up here last year saying that I had 3 sons. I still have 3 sons, okay? They're 9 years old, 7 years old, and now 4 years old. And I said, I want to do my part to make Nacogdoches the community that when they graduate college or they go on to choose a career, I don't want the question in their mind to be, why would I choose Nacogdoches? I want their question to be, why would I choose anywhere else but Nacogdoches? Okay? And so that's what we as the board and the Chamber will be about again this year. We will continue to work and communicate with all levels of government, and most importantly, with industry leaders and with small private business owners to ensure that we are meeting their needs and setting them up for success however they define their success. And why do we do this? Because I live, while not entirely under our control, I do believe in the mentality of dictate the terms or have the terms dictated to you. And so that's what we will do with our membership's guidance. We will set the terms for our success, and we'll strive to reach those terms in all that we do. And without incurring the wrath of Betty Shin going over my time, I'm going to yield to our president and CEO, Ms. Kelly Augustine.
Okay, first things first, Bonnie Mitchell. I may have played a small part in the shenanigans that went on this evening, but it wasn't my idea. Now for your Chamber annual report. Our Chamber year began on October 1st, 2023, with the then President and CEO, C. Wayne Mitchell, preparing your Chamber for his exit. I had the pleasure and the privilege of watching Mr. Mitchell work, and I cannot imagine how it could have been handled better. He invested a great amount of professional grade preparedness, attention to details, and work with the entire staff to ensure that the Nacogdoches County Chamber continued to operate to its very best ability through the transition. Wayne, I owe you. Skipping into January, the Chamber has a new president, yours truly, and 4 additional staff members in place. Later in the year, we would add an outstanding Give 5 volunteer, and most recently, a talented SFA student intern. With this team, we can cover financials, HR, membership recruitment and retention, information distribution, program execution, leadership development, promotions, customer service, and volunteer support. We have gelled quite nicely, and we are enjoying our work together. This Chamber year, we've welcomed 62 new members, and we are hovering at the 89% retention rate. Midsummer, your Chamber board made a move to join the I-69 Alliance, taking a seat at the table along with the Nacogdoches EDC for a stronger voice in project advancements and funding. And we are strengthening our relationship with the local TxDOT district office. We partnered with Lufkin Angelina County Chamber for Chamber Days in Austin held in February. The Lone Star Legislative Summit brought members of Texas State Legislature and U.S. Congressman Pete Sessions to Nacogdoches for East Texas topic-related discussions. Your chamber has submitted letters of support addressing workforce development and transportation initiatives, as well as letters to Congress expressing concern for the possible negative impacts on our businesses through proposed legislation. Dozens on top of dozens on top of dozens of networking events engaged and connected our members, our stakeholders, and our area's leaders. This includes ribbon cuttings, groundbreakings, business breakfast meetings, after-hours events, business development workshops and trainings, member orientations, and annual programs such as the Blueberry Golf Bash and Operation Thank You. The Texas Blueberry Festival, presented by Tipton Ford, was again good for business. We welcome an increase in higher-level sponsors, and we worked with numerous partners, including the City of Nacogdoches and Visit Nacogdoches. On that one glorious festival day, our local businesses experienced more than $1 million worth of sales, and tax receipts topped 30,000. How sweet is that? Through the Nacogdoches County Chamber Foundation, your chamber works with 8th grade students and high school students, advancing their career path planning and their involvement in community service. We awarded 17 scholarships to this year's graduating Noble Scholars, who are now full-time students at Stephen F. Austin State University. The Leadership Nacogdoches program continues with the recent launch of the 23rd class. Leadership, a fitting segue to my closing. I'd like to leave you with a verse and a challenge. You'll find in 1 Thessalonians the instruction to encourage one another and build each other up. We all have that opportunity. Please stay alert and aware of those around you who could really use a word of encouragement, a warm tone of voice, a sincere smile. Our duty as leaders in our fields of work comes with responsibilities to our coworkers and our community. This town is special, and advancements through the programs of the Chamber of Commerce brought about by you is why Nacogdoches is an ideal place to live, work, play, and do business. Thank you.
Jeff Davis, are you here? Where is Jeff Davis?
Don't worry, Paul. I'm used to it. I'll sit back down now.
The thing is, I really didn't do that on purpose. But it's been called to my attention that I had a terrible faux pas there, so you get the recognition all by yourself. You bet. Jeff Davis is the 145th Judicial District Judge. And you know, if you'd show up in church on time, I'd get it right next time, I promise. And now, the Gary Justice Business Excellence Awards. The Nacogdoches Chamber Annual Business Excellence Awards commemorate past Chairman Gary Justice. The award category named to honor Gary's many contributions to the Chamber and community. Mr. Justice gave unselfishly until his untimely passing. We're pleased tonight to have members of Gary's family join us. Dina Justice Shaw. Dina? Where'd she go? There she is. Thank you. These businesses and individuals are receiving recognition for economic impact, community involvement, and leadership. The 7 awards are the Small Business of the Year, the Medium Business of the Year, the Large Business of the Year, the Nonprofit of the Year, the Citizen of the Year, the C. Wayne Mitchell Business Advocacy Award. And we will conclude the evening by presenting the Lifetime Achievement Award. So at this time, ladies and gentlemen, would you watch the video and enjoy it?
I may not be Jake, but I'm Ted Smith from State Farm, and I'm here to serve you. So about 9 years ago, I was working for SFA Athletic Department. We were down in South Texas, just having a great time, and a guy I knew but didn't know well named Jimmy Bergman, who was a State Farm agent in Tyler, got partnered with me on the hunt. And we basically spent the weekend talking about State Farm and the opportunity that he had and what it's done for him as a small business owner and what it's done for his family. After much prayer and talking it over with my wife, it really truly sounded like something I wanted to do, and the journey just kind of began there. I can say what sets us apart is my team. I've got a highly energetic, dynamic team, and they have just done a fantastic job. With that team, you know, that's just what drove us and provided the services we provide to our customers. I want to continue that growth pattern, but at the same time, we don't want to lose anything for our customers. So we've got to educate our team, we've got to train our team, and we've just got to make sure customer service is first. Anything they need, we bend over backwards to try to help them. You know, insurance can be confusing, so we're being cognizant of that and always being sympathetic to our customers. We know price is first. We know that we need to address the price and to help our customers the best we can, so we always put them first. The Nacogdoches community is amazing. Everyone is so friendly, everyone is so polite, and I can tell you specifically about the chamber community, I can honestly say that 50% of the business we wrote in year one, which is 2018, 50% of those contacts came from networking with the chamber. So the community has supported us. So we always give back to different organizations and give back to the community. We participate in our chamber regularly, and really, really happy with the relationships we've built. I want to thank SFA and I want to thank the Nacogdoches community for this award. We are here for you. If there's anything me or my staff can do, please don't hesitate to reach us. We're right here on North Street, a block from the courthouse, and we're here to serve you.
Please welcome Ted Smith with State Farm Insurance to accept the 2024 Gary Justice Small Business of the Year Award presented by Commercial Bank of Texas Representative Jimmy Mize.
All right, I get to go first. How about that? You know, I had a whole long speech written. Kelly said, "But you got 2 minutes, you got 2 minutes." I said, "No problem. I'm at 1:58 in front of the mirror." And then I get here and I'm reminded, well, you know, Clardy and Ruckle are talking after you, so we're going to cut you down to 47 seconds. Because they're going to get a little long-winded, aren't you? You know, I came here 27 years ago with one intent, to get my degree, go back to Houston. But something happened. I fell in love with the people. I fell in love with this town. I fell in love with this community. And I'm not going to be the guy that says, last but not least, but I fell in love with this blonde-haired, blue-eyed East Texas girl right here. So, baby, come on, stand up. Dr. Holly Smith. Y'all give her a round of applause. And then my 2 kids, Avery and Austin. Stand up, guys. And this is why I go to work every day, right here. These are, he still thinks he's taller than me, but I got half an inch on him. But, you know, it was something about living here, coming from Houston. I didn't know the mayor of Houston. I didn't know the county judge. I didn't know the sheriff. Well, I'll take that back. I didn't know the sheriff. That's another story. But I didn't know those people. You know, you don't know those. You're just a number. Here, you're not a number. You're an individual. You're loved. You're cared for. You're liked. And to be here in front of my peers and my friends, it's just really, truly special to me. And joining the chamber, I was managing the country club and I was helping with the golf tournament and just got involved. And one thing led to another. It snowballed. I became friends with all the people that worked at the chamber. I joined committees. I got involved. I joined the board. I was chairman of the board during 2020. Nobody remembers because it was COVID and we were all hiding our heads in the sand. But Anyway, I didn't get to do a mulligan like Ryan. Thanks. You could have shared that with me. I'd have done 2 years. But we love what we do. And the opportunities that afforded to me came from SFA. Where's Dr. Weaver? He went to the bathroom. But there's the SFA table. John Branch, there's John Branch. There's my boss from SFA. So the relationships were built. And the people were just fantastic. And then my mentor and my brother from another mother, Mr. Jimmy Mize, wave Jimmy, we all talked about leadership, get involved in leadership. And Jimmy said, become a leader. So I did that, Leadership NAC, and just joined many organizations. So with that, I just want to say thank you again. I want to say thank you to my staff in the back. Wave your hand, guys. I'm not going to make you stand up. There you go. And then I got Cliff Clark, my manager, right here. Thank you all. Thank you, Nacogdoches. We're here to stay, and I appreciate your support. Have a great evening.
Would you please watch and enjoy the next video?
First of all, it's just a joy and a pleasure to be talking to all of y'all, and just so grateful to have gotten this award.
So the Batters Law Firm is a family business, and it always has been. The name's carried on for 3 generations now, and I also get to work with my wife, which has been one of the greatest blessings that I could ask for. I didn't know when we met in law school that we would have this entire, not just life together, but also an entire career together. So the Batters Law Firm not only helps people by the work that we do, but through the nonprofits and the foundations that we support. Most notably, we're big with the SALD Foundation, Nacogdoches Law Enforcement Foundation, Hero Foundation, and the Boys and Girls Club, and the Nacogdoches JCs.
So at Batters Law Firm, I think Jeff Batters, my father-in-law, and his father before him, really paved the way for us to grow and succeed just based on their reputation and working hard for their clients. So that push that we've gotten and the hard work that we've put in over the years has made it super successful. We really pride ourselves in treating our staff and our every employee here like family. We've had Donna, who's been here for over 40 years, and they really are like family to us.
We have the greatest staff and employees that a small business could ever have. Without them, you know, it doesn't work. 25 years, 8,000 cases, 300 a year, and a great wife, Jackie, who mainly raised 8 kids and did a great job. And again, thanks to Jackie for doing such a great job supporting me and our business as we started from very little and grew it to what it is today, and what a great job she did with our kids.
To the Chambers, I'd like to thank you so much for honoring Batters Law Firm as the Medium Business of the Year. It is a huge privilege, and we do not take it for granted. Thank you so much.
Please welcome Heath Batters with Batters Law Firm to accept the 2024 Gary Justice Medium Business of the Year Award, presented by Regions Bank Representative Tina West Manick.
Thank you. Well, hello everyone. It's an honor to be here today. I wanted to start tonight off with a joke, so I asked AI if it could come up with a good lawyer joke for me. And it said, lawyers are people, and we would hate to give stereotypes out to make them feel bad about themselves. So maybe AI is not as bad as we thought it would be, right? Because we are people and we do have feelings. But before I accept this award, and I have everyone here as a captive audience, I really want to discuss something that's been really heavy on my heart. We're in trouble as a country, and the biggest threat to America right now is not Russia, it's not Trump, it's not Kamala, it's not China, it's us. How we treat each other as a country recently has been not very good. We've become so divided on politics and personalities that we've lost sight of our values and the things that bring us together. You know, our hopes and our dreams are what unite us. And so, who here doesn't want more for their children? Who here doesn't want their business to grow? Who here wants to make less money than they did the year before, right? We all want these things, but we don't work together to really achieve that. So we forgot what it takes to be a successful community. And I think it's really simple. It's just love your neighbor. Just because we disagree on a few policies doesn't mean that we can't work together to make our community a better place. I'm very proud of Mr. Ruckel. He's been a great friend of mine. He has been someone that got me involved with the chamber. He's got me very involved with the community. But he's lobbied on things that's made my job a little bit harder. And that's okay. We still can work together and we can still be great friends. We don't need these little things to divide us. The Clardy's over here, they're my adversaries. We go against each other on cases. I love the Clardy family. They're great people. Travis has done so much for our community. There's no reason why we can't work together. And I promise you that if I talk to y'all for a while, there's something you probably wouldn't like about me, or I don't want to maybe disagree with about you. But it doesn't mean we can't work together. So I would encourage everyone here to grab a beer or a piece of cake or whatever it is that you like, and to go over and find your neighbor who has a political sign in the yard that's different than yours, and just find something that you can get along about. And I think that's what the chamber is all about. I really do think that the chamber brings businesses together to try to collaborate and make our community better for everyone. Some of the people in here are competitors, and some of them people have a symbiotic relationship. Me and Ted have a symbiotic relationship. Ted takes money from you, gives it to State Farm. I take money from State Farm and then give it back to you. So I do want to pretend to be humble for a minute and thank everyone at our office. It really is, can be a cliche, but I honestly cannot do what it is that I do without the help of everyone involved. Donna at our office has been there for 40 or 10 years. I can't remember. It seems like she looks like she's only been there for 10 years. But it really is such an honor to be here, and my time is up. Everyone in our office is so important, and so especially my father. I just want to honor my father and let everyone know how much I love him. He worked so hard growing up so that I could have a much easier life than he did. I have to do half the work that he had to do to become successful. And so as I'm a father and as I've balanced the work life and everything, I just real quick, we had a motorhome trip planned one summer, and my dad had a week-long trial. And knowing how draining that is, Friday afternoon, my dad loaded the motorhome and took us on and drove for probably 12 to 13 hours to take us on a vacation. At the time, I had no idea what that meant. I'm like, Dad, you're late, we're trying to get out of here. But he had just spent the entire week working 20-hour days and then goes and takes us on a vacation. So thank you, Dad. I love you, I honor you. And thank you to everyone at the Batters Law Firm, and thank you for this award.
Would everyone please watch the following video?
At West Fraser, we're proud to be part of the Nacogdoches community. This town isn't just where we work, it's where we live, grow, and contribute to something bigger.
The sense of community here makes it easy to attract and retain employees, while the opportunities, the amenities, and the team we've built in Nacogdoches really set it apart.
So here at the Nacogdoches location, we produce oriented strand board, also known as OSB, which is used in home constructions across the United States. And it's extremely rewarding to know that we build safe, secure homes across the country.
I see new homes being built. I think about the work that West Fraser contributes to those homes. It's more than just producing wood panels. It's about building community.
Our success at West Fraser comes from our people. Safety is a core value, and we believe that everyone that comes in should leave the exact same way to go home to their families.
We believe our responsibility goes beyond just providing jobs. We're committed to being good neighbors, using local contractors, and supporting organizations that strengthens our community.
Being involved in the community is something that we take seriously, whether it being help paint houses with United Way of Caring or donating backpacks and school supplies with the Boys and Girls Club. West Fraser is dedicated to making a positive impact here in Nacogdoches.
West Fraser's story began in 1955 when three brothers pooled their money to buy a 12-employee sawmill in British Columbia. Fast forward to today, West Fraser is one of the largest producers of OSB and lumber worldwide. The Nacogdoches Mill has been part of the West Fraser family since 2021, and we carry forward the legacy of hard work and dedication.
Every day here at West Fraser, we work together to build a more sustainable and safer company for future generations.
Our partnership with the Nacogdoches Chamber of Commerce has been key to our success, helping us to address challenges and create opportunities for the entire business community.
This West Fraser facility has been part of Nacogdoches for over 35 years. We're proud of the relationships we built. We look forward to many more years of growth, success, and community involvement.
Please welcome Bo McBride, General Manager of West Fraser, to accept the 2024 Gary Justice Large Business of the Year Award, presented by R&K Distributors Representative Jimmy Day.
Congratulations to you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you so very much. I can assure you I'm the guy that's not going to go over the 2-minute limit. But it is truly an honor to receive the 2024 Large Business Award on behalf of West Fraser Nacogdoches OSB facility. A special thanks to Kelly Austin and the entire Chamber of Commerce for your continued support and dedication to our local economy, businesses, and community. We would like to thank all the businesses that have supported our operations over the years. You have been vital to our success. We would like to thank R&K Distributors for sponsoring this award. But the biggest thank you goes to our amazing team. I'd like for the Nacogdoches OSB team to stand up, please. This is an awesome bunch. If they were an NFL team, you'd be looking at the Super Bowl champs. The heart of our operation isn't just in advanced processes or the state-of-the-art equipment. It's in the dedication, skill, and the passion of our people. Day in and day out, our team brings only hard work, but creativity, innovation, and a shared vision that drives our success. We're more than just a team. We're a family that supports, motivates, and learns from one another. I am truly honored to work alongside such a talented, committed group, and I couldn't be prouder of what we've accomplished together. Thank you again for this honor.
Yes, you're right. We have another video for you. Watch and enjoy.
I'm Rachel Underwood, and I'm the current president of the Federation of Women's Clubs. It's called the Federation of Women's Clubs because it began back in the 50s with a garden club that had 93 members. The garden club was approached by the mayor and the leadership of Nacogdoches to see if if the Federation would assume the responsibility for the maintenance and the care and become the trustees of the building. And so we owe it to those ladies back there in the 50s who started the Federation. Almost everything in this building has been given to the Federation by families that are here in Nacogdoches. All of this is from local support, and we can't thank you all enough for that. We wouldn't have a museum if it weren't for local donations, and we wouldn't have the furnishings in the building if it weren't for local support. So we're indebted to everyone in this town. Our biggest success story is the elevator renovation. We called it Elevate the OUB, and it has been discussed for several years, ever since I became involved in the Federation. This is a historic building, so you can't just start knocking out walls to put an elevator in for it to fit in with the building. And so a plan was presented for us to use the annex, and that would allow all of our visitors and wheelchair accessibility. The Nacogdoches community is who made this whole renovation project come to fruition. And the gratitude that we have to everyone who participated in this is just beyond what we had expected. But we did it only through the support of the community. And we owe a debt of gratitude forever for those people. We just hope to continue to meet the expectations of this award and make the Chamber proud of having selected us as that award winner. We just owe a lot to the Chamber for letting us be acknowledged. I have the opportunity to represent 20 women's clubs in Nacogdoches with over 500 women. And if you happen to be a member of one of those 20 clubs, then you are a member of Federation. And if at this time y'all could stand so we can see the ladies who represent the Federation. And we do have one group that includes men. Our bylaws allow for any organization that has both men and women to become a member of Federation. So I'm inviting any of you to consider joining Federation of Women's Clubs. Thank you all for the award.
Okay, please enjoy our next video.
I've been asked what this award, Citizen of the Year, means to me. I would have to say that it's the pinnacle of acceptance, belonging, recognition by your peers. What greater honor could your community bestow upon you other than to name you the Citizen of the Year? I mean, it's the greatest honor I've ever received. When you get involved in something and it's something you enjoy doing, particularly something you volunteer for, there's a sense of belonging, there's a sense of acceptance. It's like walking into a room where everybody in the room is your friend. Living and working in Nacogdoches, there's so many opportunities to give back to the community, whether you're working with the Chamber or NEDCO or volunteering at the school, just giving back to something you believe in. What has always been the driving force behind me and my motivation, I think pretty much most of the people in the room know that it's Deborah Ruckle has always been my motivation and my drive. You know, we all have an opportunity to give back, and again, I said it's fulfilling. It's just a feel-good feeling you have inside. If there's interest in your life, whether it's church or whether it's community or whether it's youth sports, to find something you would enjoy doing. Just step up and you will be so glad you did. I'm not sure how I got here to Citizen of the Year, but I know that it's because of a lot of supported people that have supported me and my family, that have encouraged us to be involved in the community. They've supported my business. And you can't say thank you enough for things, for things like that. I don't know if you've ever been driving through the country and you looked off to the side and you saw a turtle up on top of a fence post. Well, we all know that that turtle didn't get there by themselves. And I want to acknowledge once again, I didn't get here by myself. It's been a lot of friends, a very supportive family, a great community to work with. I feel like this evening, the turtle on the top of that fence post. I know how I got here. Somebody else put me here. So thanks for your support.
Please welcome John Ruckel to accept the 2024 Citizen of the Year Award presented by Tipton Ford Representative David McClellan.
Brud, can you hang on to that for a minute? Y'all may have heard me call him Brud. That was his name growing up. I knew him first when he was in high school. His dad was my senior vice president of marketing. Paul, don't panic. I'm not going to tell any stories. The further you get down in the program, you keep making notes. So I'm going to try to cut my 16 minutes down to 12 minutes. I'm going to start right off with Paul, you, and Jeff. I used to do mediations when there were lawsuits, Heath, back when you could really sue people for a lot of money. And Jeff and Paul, I just want to know if y'all have got a problem. I'd love to service mediator on that case. And to Heath, I'm glad when you asked me if you could mention my name, I said yes. I'm glad I just didn't give you editorial license on this talk. When you're sandwiched between law firms. So I'd like to share some, by the way, I made notes. I'm used to a teleprompter. In fact, I was in Phoenix this last weekend and I had a teleprompter. Well, if I didn't write these notes down, it really would be 16 minutes. So I want to share some thank you with you, but let me first share a story with you, a name you'll recognize. After I first met Roger Van Horn, he went home and told his wife, Betsy, that he had just met a guy that said in 500 words what he could have said in 20 words. Guilty. But I promise you that will not happen tonight. Sellout crowds like this one, they don't just happen unless Betty Shin and her team are in charge, and then they happen. It's always a sellout. Thank you, Betty. And y'all can thank her too. Selfishly, I'm glad that she did one more event, that I could be a part of it. To the chamber staff, thank you for another great job, another great year, and a great banquet. To the chamber staff, you're to be applauded. To the Fredonia Hotel, the DeWitts, the management team, John, Bud, Morgan, tonight's servers, to the service staff, wow, you knocked it out of the park again. So let's switch gears. The past 58 years have blown by. I met Deborah 58 years ago on the SFA campus the day the dorms opened, the first Sunday in September 1966. She was with her grandparents and they brought her on campus to visit when she was 4 years old. I was a freshman. No, I walked up on this skinny-legged blonde, had never met her, hadn't seen her face, and I smarted off like I typically do, Malcolm, and I said, I don't believe a word you're saying. And she turned around with these baseball-sized blue eyes, flipped up blonde hair, and she said, well, it's all true. And I looked over at my roommate, Pat Adams, and I went, damn, I just met the girl I'm going to marry. We've been married 56 years as of last month. I've been in the insurance business 55 years as of June. I worked my first session of the Texas legislature as a volunteer on behalf of the insurance industry and later on behalf of the chamber in the the winter of 1971, before some of you were born. And I've been fortunate to represent my industry, SFA, in this community every legislative session since. A couple of thank yous. I want to say thank you to my friends who joined us at our table tonight, Debbie and Wally Scoggins, Robbie and Scott Goodrich. Scott and Wally and I have been fraternity brothers for over 50 years. I met them when they were freshmen. They were 18 years old. And so we've been friends for many, many years. I will tell you, Mr. President of the university, Dr. Weaver, this table has 7 SFA alums. Lamar slipped in, Deb. That Deb, not this Deb. And so we have a Lamar alum here with us. But you'll find anyone any more supportive of this university than Debbie Scoggins. Also at the table is my son and my business partner. My son for almost 51 years, my business partner for the last 14 years. And nothing could make a father happier than to see his son not only go in business with him to support and carry on the family business, to be a part of our family's legacy of supporting the community. And he was installed tonight as a member of the Chamber Board. And then I have my beautiful, sweetest woman in the world, well, maybe next to her mother-in-law, my sweet, lovely, sweetest lady in the world, Natalie, my daughter-in-law, who I love more than anything. Deborah's been with me all the way. She kept me focused in college. I wrote this an extra note, a little anecdotal story. We're at the end of our junior year. I'd gone in the insurance business. Deborah came in and she said, "I'm concerned. I'm worried about something." I said, "You're always worried about something. What this time?" She said, "We only have one car." And I said, "Your point?" She said, "Well, I'm about to do my student teaching. You work off campus selling insurance. What are we going to do?" And I said, "Wait a minute. What do you mean you're going to do your student teaching? You do that your senior year." And she said, "We are seniors." I had 80 hours. It takes 130 to get a BBA. It's SFA. I took 50 hours over the next 12 months so we could graduate on the same day. When I said at the first of that video that that's my inspiration, I'm going to tell you something, folks. 50 hours in 12 months is damn hard, but she was my inspiration. She literally financed me in business, the start of Ruckle Insurance. I was straight commissions, 20 years of age, a junior in college. We were living in government housing. We did have one car. And she got a salaried job, and I didn't have one. So she literally financed me in the business. She has supported me in community affairs, whether it's Chamber, Heritage Heralds, or whatever. She has supported me in my government affairs work that I began in 1971 at the 22 years of age, serving at the local and state and national board for my industry. She has been with me every time, all the way. This year, in February, she was with me in League City at a state convention. In May, she was with me in Washington, D.C. for a day on the Hill with Congressman Sessions. We went to a company conference in San Diego recently, and we got back Sunday from a meeting in Phoenix and another industry meeting. She has been with me all the way. I'm going to tell you another anecdotal story that wasn't in the original script. When I was on this running up for this board in Washington, I'd gotten elected a couple of terms as trustees. I was running as secretary. Well, you're running at the national level. 50 states are represented at that convention, a couple of thousand people, delegates. And so I was running against this very accomplished lady from Alaska, very successful in the business, and it wasn't looking good for me. So my campaign team went to her and said, "He is not to leave that hotel room unless you're with him." I got elected. So I'm going to repeat again, before I do, and I'm about to wrap it up, I have never been more optimistic about this community, literally, since 1970 when I graduated. I immediately joined Golden Greeters. I think it's Ambassadors or something. Back then, we literally wore gold blazers that we purchased from Mize department store, and we cut the ribbons and did the groundbreaking.
And I did it not because I was so philanthropic or community oriented. I was 22 and still probably had a little frat rat in me. But nobody in this town knew me, and I knew I had to get known and quick, and so I could start making a decent living. And I joined the Chamber of Commerce through our firm, my boss's firm, and I volunteered for Golden Greeters. And so I went to cut the ribbons, but I also took about 50 business cards in my coat pocket and passed them out to all those people. And that's how I grew my business. I grew my business from attending chamber events, literally introducing my people. And I have to give the Chamber of Commerce a lot of credit for me standing here today. So I'm going to tell you again that what you saw at the end of that video. I don't know that I've ever driven down a country road and saw a turtle on the top of a fence post. But I'm going to tell you something, folks. We know how that turtle got there. Someone put that turtle there, and that's how I got here. Thank you very much for this great honor.
Well done, kind servant. Tremendous, John. You know, I was a few minutes ago, I was thinking how we were running way ahead of schedule. And I was about to go over and brag to Betty, but now we're back right on schedule. Would you please watch the following video?
I'm so proud of Travis and what he's done as our representative. I was very grateful, first to know that the people of Nacogdoches appreciate and understand the service that Travis has performed for our city and our area, East Texas, and for our state.
When you look at what all he has accomplished on behalf of all of us, what he's done for rural health care, what he's done for the challenges and the opportunities of rural education. When you look at, I guess it might have been his first bill, the Garden Capital of Texas, and then the Lone Star Legislative Summit. It's got Travis's fingerprints all over it. It went from a fledgling little, maybe crazy idea on my part, to the largest gathering of the Texas legislature outside of Austin, Texas.
There are many memories I have of Travis Corley, but the one that really impacts me more than the rest is his passion to let the other legislators in Austin know about the values and needs of the East Texas area.
The high-profile psychiatric hospital in Rusk has a new multi-million state-of-the-art facility. State Senator Robert Nichols and Representative Travis Clardy took on the job to get it done. In 2017, construction began and $202 million was raised.
He has advocated fiercely for Stephen F. Austin State University in acquiring a tuition revenue bond to support the building of a real STEM building. We are now standing and sitting in this building, and I can tell you it is magnificent. He advocated strongly. We got the funding that was needed, and today we have this beautiful Ed and Gwen Cole STEM building.
One of the things Travis says a lot is Nacogdoches is a city of character and characters. I believe Travis is one of the most beloved characters in Nacogdoches.
Thank you for what you've done for the community, and without you, the hotel would never open.
Support in the legislature is critical for any state agency, and especially was for Stephen F. Austin State University. A good example of that is the recent legislation that allowed Stephen F. Austin to affiliate with the University of Texas system, required legislation to make that official. That legislation would not have been successful without the support of Travis Clardy. Thank you so much for everything you've done for the people of Nacogdoches, the Chamber of Commerce, and especially for Stephen F. Austin State University.
Please welcome State Representative the Honorable Travis Clardy to accept the 2024 C. Wayne Mitchell Business Advocacy Award presented by ServPro Representative Patrick Castillo.
Anybody got any cattle? All right. Thank you, Patrick. Appreciate that. Well, for once in my life, I'm going to be shorter than John Ruckle. And thank you for your kind words, John and Heath. Great job you took. That was a great talk that you gave. I will tell you this, Judy and I, by virtue of being in the Texas legislature, we have the right and the privilege of being buried in the Texas State Cemetery in Austin. And, of course, Judy will get the traditional 6-foot burial, but me, they do mine 12 feet because deep down, Heath, lawyers are good. So, but listen, it's great to be here with you. I look around this room, and my heart, I'm going to get choked up, is filled with love. This organization, this chamber has meant so much to us. I think back, Josh Edwards, if you're in here, thank you for that nice article you wrote. You got one thing wrong. There you are, Josh. We actually came here in 1995. Judy and I were commuting over from Center. We started off in Dallas where our boys were born, or 3 of the 4, and we moved from a big firm in Dallas, moved to Center, Texas. A little bit of a culture shock, going from Dallas to Center. And I tell folks, I'm like Goldilocks. I talked the boys into opening the Fairchild office here in 95. Judy and I moved over with 4 little boys, Nacogdoches to make it home. I tell folks, if Dallas is too big and Center's a little too small, but Nacogdoches is just right. And so we have loved it ever since. It's been such a fantastic place. And so through all those years of being the, Little Dribblers coach, Little League coach, bunch of y'all in here I probably coached with or coached against, Cub Master, Scout Master, Sunday school teacher, deacon, all those things we've done at North Street. I realize it's been 30 years since we came over there, John, and but it's been such a fantastic place, and I'm so excited about the future of Nacogdoches. Heath, you pointed out some good things, and you're spot on. But I tell you what, folks, we've got to focus on the good things. I am so bullish and optimistic. Dr. Weaver, I know you're in here somewhere. You better not have snuck out on your first chamber banquet. But listen, the last 100 years of SFA have been fantastic. The next 100 years are going to be even better. Nacogdoches, we are sitting on the proverbial gold mine here, and it's largely because of the Chamber of Commerce. Paul, I remember when where'd you go, Smitty? When we did there you are, and he was the host with the most on Leadership Nacogdoches. One of my favorite things in serving as your state representative has been every year we look forward to. Jerry Jones can tell you this. We look forward to Nacogdoches SFA days. I remember when Dr. Patillo would come in, and that group of Leadership Nacogdoches, and by the proud graduate of Leadership NAC, and but y'all all coming in, bringing NAC to us when we're stuck in there, we're slogging away doing the business of the state, but getting those photos with all the Leadership NAC folks around us and the chamber people and doing those events afterwards, that's what it's all about. So could not have done it without you. This is such a beautiful, beautiful time. I'm not a Ben. I'm not. Now, we got folks buried at Oak Grove Cemetery, Mr. Judge Davis. We do have a history here, we got folks buried all over Shelby County. Most of them are in marked graves, but we've got a lot of history back here. But when we got here, this has always felt like home. It's been a very receiving, welcoming area, and we've adored it. I want to introduce a couple of folks. I'm going to embarrass them. If 3 of my 4 sons are here, Luke was not able to join us. I'm writing him out of the will in the morning. But if I could get Gus and John to stand first. These are my law partners in Clardy Law Offices. This is one of my big gigs going on here. And Blake, if you'd please stand, my oldest, or our oldest, I should say. I'm pretty sure they're mine. I know they're hers because I was there when it happened. But they're here with us, and I'm so proud and thank Blake came down from New York, and great to have them here. But I'm going to ask one thing. Sit down. That's enough out of y'all. I also want to recognize 2 special ladies in my life. I'm going to ask Claire Gilmore to stand, my longtime legal secretary and grammatician and everything else she's done for me through the years in our law practice. We could not have done it in the law practice without Claire. And Jerry Jones, keep standing, Claire. Jerry Jones, longtime district director. I ought to ask y'all, if y'all ever had to call Jerry, ask for help from Jerry dealing with the government or anything else, dealing with the state government, whether she's working with Wayne or with me, nobody has done more work for the people of East Texas than Jerry Jones, and nobody's done. Thank you. And trust me, nobody's done more work for Travis Clardy than Claire Gilmore. So thank you both. Love y'all. And last but not least, I do want to recognize, this is probably going to be the last time I get to do this, Judy. I get to embarrass you. But the First Lady of House District 11, the lovely Judy Clardy. Please stand. I never get tired of showing her off, and I will tell you, she was the president of Legislative Ladies, and when we talk about the things we've done with the chamber, and when I think about how we started, John, with the Lone Star Legislative Summit, it was kind of a fledgling deal, and we built this up, and the numbers that we had, and it's packed this room. And folks, I can't tell you how big of a difference it's made for our community. We're standing in this hotel. This hotel would be the biggest bat dormitory in East Texas. But for the work that we did in the Lone Star Legislative Summit, and but for Judy being there and working with my colleagues, this would not have happened. Folks didn't really want to come to Nacogdoches. I had one person seriously ask me, so can I get there on paved roads the whole way? I'm not making that up. They had no idea who we are here. When they showed up for the breakfast, and our speaker at the time, first session spoke, they were like, I could tell they were shocked that people had like socks and shoes and ties, and they were professional people. The stereotypical image that we've been combating, we've done a fine job of turning that around. I think we had some success to show for it. But Judy has been indispensable in that. We've been married now over 40 years. Happily married on my part. You'll have to ask her. But for me, it's been blissful. When we had a house in Austin, we'd rented. We get in there, and somebody said, "Well, oh man, you and Judy gonna go there? It's like your romantic little bungalow out there. We were renting this place in Clarksville, and they said it's gonna be like you're on your second honeymoon." And I said, "Well, it would be if I could ever finish my first one." And I still feel that way today. I love you. So, and we were fresh. We're coming back last night talking about a lot of things, and we're coming back seeing, by the way, we now have 7 grandchildren. We just had the birth of our 6th grandson, 7th grandchild. John delivered the biggest Clardy baby I know of on record, 10 pounds, 1 ounce. He's a whopper. Conrad Rambo. And I don't like macho names much, but I kind of like that one. And Rambo's no famous name, but John did that. And he also gives our first granddaughter, Elise, and the first girl in my line since 1879. We don't like her at all. Can barely tolerate the poor thing. But Gus has the 3 boys. Blake has the 2 boys up in New York. We're trying to get them south of the Mason-Dixon as quick as we can. But that's another story. But it's been such a privilege. I think back how we started this and getting, I want to do public service. That's how we got into this. I didn't want to be a judge. I didn't really want to be a judge. I like to argue too much. I didn't want to listen to other people argue. And I thought, I think I could be a pretty good state rep. I'm either going to like it or I'm not. And I loved it. I loved it. I love the work we did. I'm so proud of what we accomplished. And I look back and I can touch these things that we've done, and I think we've made the area a better place. But we have work to do. And that work begins with this room, with this group, with this chamber, the things that you do, because folks, y'all are the fabric of our community. Y'all are the ones that tie us together. You're the ones that are involved in your church, your youth organizations, all these things that make us who we are, whether it's a Heartbeat Foundation, Jeff, or all these things that are important to us. This is the room that makes this place special. This is a town of character and characters. And I can go back to Sam Houston and Stephen F. Austin and Stern and Huey, and I can go back to all these characters I can think in my lifetime since I've been here. I can think of Charles Bright, and I can think of Bob Murphy, and I can think of Edwin Cole. I can think of all these people. We're blessed to live here. And I've been blessed to be your representative. Thank you. Thanks for the hat. Thanks for the plaque. And thank you for the honor. Thank you.
Well, it's come time for the last video of the evening, the grand finale of videos. So if you will please watch and enjoy our final video of the evening.
Wayne, I'm so excited for you and happy for you, and just want to say that this award is well earned and well deserved.
I came to Nacogdoches with a clean slate. It wasn't important for me to come here and to share my vision. It was more important for me to learn what the dreams and aspirations of the business folks and the citizens of Nacogdoches would be.
Sometimes when you come to this community, it takes you a little while to kind of get going, and Wayne and Bonnie both jumped in head first, and I think really left their impact on the chamber as well as the Nacogdoches community.
I originally got involved because I witnessed somebody being recognized for doing a great job, and I said I'd really like to get that recognition someday. Afterwards, I found out that it was more than just seeking recognition. If you do something that really does help improve the business climate and provide opportunities for others, it's much more rewarding than a certificate suitable for framing. I worked with some unbelievable chairs in my period here, and that certainly played a role with it. And last, the community at large. I have never lived in a community where I felt so at home other than Augusta, Maine. I feel like, I jokingly say, I feel like I've lived here all my life. And I think you can't say anything better about a community than when somebody comes from 2,500 miles away and they feel like they've lived in a community all their life. That means that they made me feel at home here and my wife at home here.
Wayne, I just want to personally say thank you for all that you've done, not only for me, but also for this community, the hard work that you've put in, the effects of all the hard work that you've provided for this town, I feel will be felt for years and years and years to come. So professionally, personally, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for all that you've done, and I consider it a great honor to be your friend.
Please welcome C. Wayne Mitchell to accept the Chamber's Lifetime Achievement Award presented by Service Master Piney Woods Representative Jared Lestracco.
Well, first of all, this was really difficult for me to prepare for, to be honest with you. In my capacity, usually as an association or chamber CEO, we're more apt to be recognized the contributions and the achievements and the accomplishments of others. And when I was informed that the board was generous enough to consider me for this award, frankly, I thought it'd be an easy take, but it wasn't. Because the first thing I realized in preparing for tonight is I'm here because of you. Not because of me. It's because of many contributions that people made. When I came to Nacogdoches almost 9 years ago as a new member of your community, I only knew one person from previous days, and that was John Ruckel. John Ruckel, I was lobbying then for the life insurance, the Health Insurance Association of America back then, and we met in Washington, D.C. decades ago. I think I was 20 and you were then probably 40. And to be honest with you, that shows you the type of leadership and the contributions that others have made, not just in Nacogdoches, but nationally. Travis Clardy, I'm sorry, but you're not a politician. You demonstrated that during this last stint with the legislature and the election. I said that to you earlier. Travis Clardy, knowing the consequences of a very difficult decision that was in the best interest not of Travis Clardy, but for the people of Nacogdoches, he took a tough stand. Travis Clardy, you're a statesman. You're not a politician. And the health industry of Texas is going to be benefiting greatly from your leadership and the contribution, the influence, and the relationships that you bring to them. And I'm excited for your future. I want to also say I was blessed. You gave me all the tools to succeed, and that's the reason it was difficult to accept this award. You gave me a great staff to work with, starting with your president and CEO, Kelly Augustine. She had years of experience, and more importantly, she loves this business of community involvement and community leadership. She's an SFA grad. She's one of you, unlike Wayne. But the truth of the matter is, I can't wait to see what she's going to do in this organization. When I say everybody shares in this honor, you don't get recognized for what you do. It's all of the things that you folks have done for our behalf. When I first got here, I had a guy like Bill Teague, who was filling in until I took over the chamber, had the time to take me around to meet community leaders and to introduce me to community and tell me what the rules were, what the customs were, and how best to fit in. It was meeting with the women and men, starting with Betty Shin, who taught me about involvement in the various organizations, meeting with people like the JCs in this town, meeting with Dr. Baker Patillo, who talked to me about the unique relationship SFA had with this community and the mutual love the community has for each other. And I'm thrilled about the future of this organization and the recent decisions you made. You know, it's not just the people in this room that make Nacogdoches special. I've had some issues in the last few months that, you know, to be honest with you, I'm a little surprised I'm here tonight. I won't get into the details of it, but there are women and men that made these 8 months important to me. It's the women and men that you walk into Sport Clips having all you can do to get into your chair to get your hair cut and a shave, and on the way out somebody tells you that the fellow that saw you struggle to get into the chair anonymously paid for your haircut. I don't know who that man was, but that's Nacogdoches. It was the nurse at the medical center that when I called for pain medication at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, and she came in, and at the conclusion, she said, "Let's pray." That's Nacogdoches. It's three guys named John, and Shannon that walk into my office at this Chamber of Commerce with a dream of having an aviation school and to fill a void in this country that's necessary with a lack of pilots. And here we are today cranking out student pilots and pilots that are prepared to fill commercial and personal pilot's license. Shannon and John made that happen. You know, our role at the chamber is a facilitator. You know, it's the grandsons that when the grandmother has been in the house for 3 weeks taking care of somebody, that took the time to babysit their grandfather, that opened the door and said, "Are you okay?" every 15 to 20 minutes to make sure that you were okay and you had what you needed. And I want to thank Travis. I noticed the heights of your three sons. I want to ask my 3 grandsons, Archer, Rowan, and Easton, to stand. If we could take your 3 sons and my 3 grandsons, we'd have a hell of a basketball team. Thank you. And I also want to take a moment to say that, you know, this is a town that made me feel at home from the time I got here. You all deserve a piece of this Lifetime Achievement Award because, frankly, whether it's here or Augusta, Maine, or wherever I've had the privilege of working, I've had people that were kind enough to help me do my job, and that is to facilitate growth and a healthy economic environment for a community. I can't name every woman and man in this room. There's just too many of you to name. We'll be here past the 9 o'clock limit, Betty Shin. Where is she? If I want my health to continue to prosper, I will be concluding within the next 4 minutes. But all kidding aside, I can't tell you, and I don't know whether it was Heath Batters that said it earlier, but it's the people that I have so much agreement with, I learn very little. It's the people I don't have agreement with that I learn the most. We need to talk to each other. And here's the deal, and I'll close on this remark with one further acknowledgement. It's this. We ought to be very happy with what we have here in Nacogdoches, but never be satisfied that we have all we could or should have. That means we need to continue to be vigilant, to be sensitive to the needs of this community. watch the evolution of I-69 and make sure it's an economic catalyst and not a bypass. You know, making sure that the infrastructure that these city officials have an enormous job to address, that we all play a part in helping guiding them in those decisions to make sure that we have great sewers, we have great highways, that we have all of the things that make such attractive a community for investment. And most importantly, making sure our education. I saw Dr. Trujillo here tonight. I know that Dr. Weaver's here tonight. They have enormous responsibility. We need to give them the tools necessary to succeed. SFA is part of a new system now. We just got to make sure that we advocate to make sure it doesn't get lost in that system. The last person I want to mention here tonight is my wife, Bonnie, because she's most responsible for me being here tonight. I spent 9 days in an ICU unit in February, and I'm going to be honest with you. As I'm standing here tonight, there was a point where I thought it's just too much. And to be honest with you, I conveyed it to not only my wife, but to my brother, Ernie, who's here tonight. And I said, frankly, I'm done. And she said 2 words that changed my mind instantly. She bent down and she whispered in my ear in a very forceful tone, "You fight. You fight, and you fight." And I didn't dare disobey her. She's the reason I'm here tonight, and she's been unbelievable. 54 years of marriage and another 4 or 5 years dating before then. I've got to tell you, of all of the accomplishments I've had, she shares this. She deserves this recognition more than I do. I want to thank my brother, Ernie. I want to thank my sister-in-law, Jackie. I want to thank my little sister, Judy, that covers the 3 corners of this country that came here tonight to be with me. One from Maine, one from Alaska, and one from Florida. I had no relatives that wanted to move to California. But again, I want to thank the Chamber Board and staff for this recognition. I want to thank you folks because you gave me the tools to succeed in my time here. And I wish all of us continued success because we're stakeholders. God bless you all. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. It's 9 o'clock.
There are many individuals that help make this a special evening for all of us and the award winners. I would like to take a minute to recognize these individuals. I'm going to quickly acknowledge those who worked long and hard behind the scenes to make this evening a success. To speed that process, let me ask you once again to please hold your applause until I give you the cue at the end. Once again, Betty Shin and the Banquet Committee did an outstanding job. The names of the committee members are on your programs. We should also recognize the Chamber staff for their efforts. Sherry Williams, Vice President, Member Engagement. Sharon Hurst, Information Coordinator. Militia Wheeler, Program and Event Director. Missy Manning, Finance Manager. Robert Martin, Give 5 volunteer, and Ella Mitchell, SFA student intern. And to the outstanding staff here at the hotel, well done. We are pleased once again to have the Fredonia Hotel and Convention Center presenting this event as our great sponsor. We would also like to thank our sign language interpreter, Shannon Jacobs. Now, she deserves a big hand. Let's give her a... The Chamber would like to thank Heidi and Joseph Miller from Bland to Grand for the video productions, And thank you to Tyrone Curl with DMC Marketing Group for recording the event tonight. We would also like to thank Jason Reyna with East Tex Photography for his photography services. Now, if you have a star-shaped sticker on your program, you're welcome to take the floral display with you. Let's take a look there. All right, here we go. I'll close this way. It's been said that the happiest people in the world are those who care more about others than they do about themselves. Well, it's been wonderful to be with all of you this evening because it's quite obvious that tonight we have a room full of happy people. This concludes the 102nd annual meeting of the Nacogdoches County Chamber of Commerce. Good evening.